The morning sun had barely risen when Ayan stood at the bus stop, his file pressed tightly against his chest, his heartbeat racing faster than the traffic behind him. He had prepared for this day for months, the interview at Eden Corp, one of the most prestigious companies in the city. It wasn't just a chance, it was his dream. A path out of his struggles, a bridge between what he was and what he desperately wanted to become. But as he checked the time again, anxiety crept in. Today had to go perfectly. He couldn't afford even a second of delay. Just then, a piercing cry broke through the hum of the road. "Please, someone help me, my bag." Ayan turned instinctively. A girl stood near the corner, breathless and terrified, pointing at a man sprinting away with her handbag. People around her just stared. Some froze, some pretended not to notice, and others only shrugged helplessly. Ayan didn't think twice. His dreams, his interview, the clock ticking, none of it mattered in that moment. He ran. His shoes hit the pavement hard, adrenaline pumping through his veins. The thief had a head start, but Ayan was fast, faster than he'd ever been in his life. The thief zigzagged into a narrow alley, hoping to vanish into the maze of buildings, but Ayan didn't slow. He lunged forward, tackling him to the ground. A short struggle followed, but Ayan managed to grab the bag back before the man slipped away into the shadows. Breathless, exhausted, and with dust all over his clothes, Ayan returned to the girl. She stood frozen, her eyes wide, her lip trembling, fear still etched on her face. When she saw him approach, holding out her bag, she exhaled shakily. Thank you so much," she said, her voice soft and overwhelmed. "It's okay, you're safe now," Ayan replied with a tired smile. But the moment he said it, reality struck him like a blow. The time, his interview, he pulled out his phone and felt his stomach twist painfully. He was already late, not slightly. Not even fashionably. He was unforgivably late. The girl noticed the panic flooding his face. "Are you okay? Did something happen?" Ayan inhaled deeply, fighting the sinking feeling. I had an interview today. A big one. And I'm late now." She bit her lip, guilt washing over her expression. "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean for." No, he cut her off gently. "You didn't do anything wrong. Anyone would have helped." "Not everyone does," she murmured, watching the people still walking by, some casting curious glances, others ignoring them. He didn't know what to say, so he just nodded, trying to regain his composure. She stepped forward softly. "Let me at least drop you there. I have a car, maybe you can still make it." He hesitated, but hope was a powerful force. "Okay, thank you." They rushed toward a sleek black car she had parked farther away. Ayan didn't pay attention to the model or its luxury, his mind was swirling with panic and determination. As they drove, she tried to reassure him, but the minutes ticked by mercilessly. By the time they arrived at Eden Corp, Ayan could feel his throat tighten. He stepped out quickly. "Thank you," he said again, turning to her. "Wait, your name?" she asked. "Ayan, she began, but he had already started running toward the entrance. Inside the building, he hurried to the receptionist, explaining breathlessly that he had come for the 9 a.m. interview. Her polite smile faded into regret. "I'm sorry," she said. "The candidates have already been taken inside, and the HR team doesn't allow late entries." "Please," Ayan pleaded. "I had an emergency. I saved someone from being mugged." She shook her head gently. "I understand, truly, but the policy is strict. They've already completed the first round." Ayan felt the world tilt beneath his feet. The job he had pinned all his hopes on. Gone, because he stopped to help a stranger. He stepped back slowly, the weight of disappointment pressing heavily on his chest. When he exited the building, the girl was still there, waiting anxiously near her car. "You didn't make it," she whispered, reading the truth on his face. "It's fine," he forced out, though his voice cracked. "Things happen." "No," she shook her head firmly, her eyes glistening. "This happened because of me. Not because of you," he corrected softly. "Because I made a choice. And I'd make it again." She stared at him, stunned, not by his words, but by the sincerity behind them. He didn't wait for her reply. He just walked away, shoulders heavy, heart heavier. Days passed. Ayan tried to move on, applying to different companies, but the sting from that lost opportunity clung to him. Nights were the worst, lying awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything in his mind. His mother noticed the silent battles he fought, the way he forced a smile at dinner, how he avoided talking about job applications. One evening, she placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. Beta, she said softly, sometimes Allah tests us in ways we don't understand. What you did was right. Goodness never goes to waste. Her words comforted him, but the pain still lingered. 1 week later, Ayan received a call from an unknown number. Hello, is this Ayan? A woman's voice asked. Yes, speaking. Please come to Eden Corp tomorrow. We need to discuss something urgent. Ayan froze. But, my interview. Just come, the voice interjected warmly. It's important. The next day, Ayan arrived at the building, heart pounding. He was escorted not to the HR department, but to the top floor, the executive level. Each step increased his confusion and tension. He was led to a large office with glass walls, and inside stood a man in his late 50s, tall, calm, and incredibly authoritative. Beside him stood the girl whose handbag he had rescued. She smiled. Ayan blinked. You. The man stepped forward. Ayan, my name is Daniel Eden. I'm the CEO of Eden Corp. And this, he gestured toward the girl, is my daughter, Sarah. Ayan felt the breath leave his body. The girl he had helped, the girl he had dropped everything for, was the daughter of the very man whose company he had desperately wanted to join. Sir, I didn't know. You didn't need to know, Daniel interrupted, his voice deep but warmly controlled. You helped her without expecting anything in return. You risked your safety, and for that, you lost your interview. Ayan swallowed hard, unsure what to say. Sarah stepped forward, her eyes shimmering with gratitude. Dad, he saved me. And he didn't even stop to think what it would cost him. When he ran after that thief, he didn't know who I was. He didn't know what he was risking. People saw, but only he acted. Daniel nodded slowly. I reviewed the security footage. I saw everything. Ayan exhaled shakily. Sir, I wasn't trying to get anything out of it. That, Daniel said firmly, is exactly why you deserve something. He motioned toward the chair, and Ayan sat nervously. Ayan, Daniel continued, you displayed courage, integrity, and humanity. Qualities that cannot be taught in classrooms or measured in exams. Qualities this company values above everything else. Ayan's pulse quickened. I'm offering you something far better than the entry-level position you applied for, Daniel said. I'm offering you a direct management training position, a role reserved only for candidates with exceptional potential. Ayan stared, speechless. This is too much, sir. It's not, Daniel replied gently. It's exactly what you deserve. Ayan's throat tightened. He felt overwhelmed, grateful, confused, even emotional. Sarah smiled softly. See, sometimes losing something leads you to something even bigger. Ayan lowered his head, whispering, thank you both so much. His journey began that same week. But the challenges didn't end there. The management training program was intense, far beyond anything he expected. Long hours, complex assignments, pressure from senior staff, and constant self-doubt haunted him. Some employees didn't trust him, believing he got the position only because of Sarah. Rumors spread quickly, and the whispers behind his back grew louder. He's the CEO's daughter's favorite. He didn't earn it. He won't make it past the first quarter. At first, Ayan tried to ignore it. But over time, the negativity seeped in. Every mistake he made, every slow report, every misunderstood instruction, felt magnified. He feared disappointing the CEO, feared he wasn't strong enough for the expectations placed on him. One day, after a particularly difficult meeting where his presentation was criticized, Ayan sat on the rooftop, staring out at the city lights, feeling utterly defeated. Sarah found him there. You're too hard on yourself, she said, approaching quietly. I'm failing, he whispered. People think I don't deserve to be here. Maybe they're right. No, she said firmly, sitting beside him. Do you know why my father trusts you? Because he sees what others fail to notice. Your heart, your integrity, your ability to stand up when things get tough. Ayan shook his head. Good intentions don't make me good at this job. But giving up definitely makes you lose, she said with a soft but powerful conviction. You didn't chase that thief because it was easy. You did it because it was right. Now fight for yourself with that same courage. Her words struck something deep inside him. From that day forward, Ayan changed. He stopped listening to the rumors. He worked harder than ever. He stayed late, asked questions, sought guidance, learned from his mistakes, and built himself piece by piece. Slowly, the whispers faded. Slowly, respect replaced doubt. Months passed. Ayan's dedication didn't just impress his managers, it inspired them. Projects he handled succeeded. Teams he worked with grew more cooperative. His confidence returned, and with it, his natural leadership. One afternoon, Daniel called him into his office again. "Ayan," he said with a proud smile, "I think it's time." Ayan frowned slightly. "Time for what?" "To give you your first official department to manage." Ayan's heart stopped. "You've earned it," Daniel added. "Not because of what you did for my daughter, but because of what you've done for yourself. For this company." Ayan felt tears prick his eyes, but he blinked them back. "Thank you, sir, I'll never forget this opportunity. And one more thing," Daniel said, glancing toward the doorway. Sarah stepped in, holding a folder with a playful smile. "Don't forget your assistant," she teased. "What assistant?" Ayan asked, confused. "Me," she said with a grin. Daniel laughed softly. "Don't worry," she insisted. The three shared a warm moment, one that felt like the beginning of something bigger, not just a career, but a future filled with purpose, gratitude, and new beginnings. As Ayan walked out of the office holding his appointment letter, he felt a wave of emotions wash over him. That morning at the bus stop replayed in his mind, the fear, the decision, the sacrifice. He had lost his dream that day, only to realize later that sometimes, life doesn't take from you. It redirects you, and in doing so, it gives back far more than you could have ever imagined. Because helping a stranger had changed his destiny, and that stranger turned out to be the doorway to the life he had always dreamed of.